Hi, I'm Johnny Five from the band Flobots. As you can imagine, almost everything Donald Trump says I disagree with. But there is one thing he's been saying that I do agree with. He's been calling out former President George W. Bush for lying about WMDs and Iraq.
They lied. They said there were weapons of mass destruction. There were none, and they knew there were none.
Predictably, the right-wing echo chamber has been going ballistic, outraged that Trump would suggest at a Republican debate, no less, that George W. Bush had any idea before the war that Iraq had no WMDs. So what's the truth? Did the Bush administration knowingly lie to the American people in order to lead us into preemptive war? According to a recent piece by Jon Schwarz in The Intercept, the answer is an unequivocal yes. The article describes the unusual case of Saddam Hussein's son-in-law, Hussein Kamel. In the 1980s, Kamel was a part of Saddam's inner circle and ran the Iraqi WMD program that thrived during the Iran-Iraq War. After the 1991 Gulf War, Iraq had been driven out of Kuwait, and a strict UN sanctions regime was put in place to disarm Iraq of all WMDs. By 1995, Kamel had grown unhappy with Saddam's rule, and he defected to Jordan. There, he revealed to the UN, the International Atomic Energy Agency, and the CIA that Iraq had, in fact, disarmed. In 1996, Kamel made the ill-advised decision to return to Iraq, where he was promptly assassinated. Kamel's testimony by itself proves nothing. After all, as a defector, he might say anything to curry favor with Saddam's enemies, right? But the CIA certainly took him seriously. In January 2002, the CIA, looking into allegations about Saddam's WMDs, produced a senior executive memorandum discussing, quote, the value of Kamel's information. Yet, just 8 months later, in August of 2002, Vice President Dick Cheney made a speech where he said the following: "We now know that Saddam has resumed his efforts to acquire nuclear weapons. Among other sources, we've gotten this from the first-hand testimony of defectors, including Saddam's own son-in-law, Hussein Kamel." Cheney suggested that Kamel had confirmed Saddam's nuclear weapons program, when in fact Kamel had said the exact opposite. In subsequent weeks, Defense Secretary Donald Rumsfeld, Secretary of State Colin Powell, and President Bush himself all cited Kamel in making the case for the Iraq War. Whatever other dubious evidence they used to lead the nation to war, about aluminum tubes or anything else, there is no question that top officials in the Bush administration knowingly misrepresented what Hussein Kamel told the CIA. So, while on any number of other issues, Donald Trump is completely full of it, on the question of whether the Bush administration knowingly lied to lead us into war, Donald Trump is, unfortunately, dead right.